So a British content creator has flown to Bali to film some adult content, right? And now her passport has gone. She's in immigration detention and she could be deported, or worse, if she's prosecuted under the laws that are available, she could be facing up to 15 years in prison. There's going to be no Twitter apology on this one, and there's no influencer damage control, and definitely there's not any algorithm for her to hide behind, because now she's dealing with real law in a real country with real consequences. Her name, it is Bonnie Blue. She's 26 years old, and what happened next is a warning to every creator who thinks the world is just some big content playground, because trust me, some states and countries have laws that they actually enforce. So last week, it says here that Indonesian police in the Badung region of Bali raided a rented property after members of the public suspected pornographic filming. So when the officers entered the property, they had to seize all the cameras, the lighting, the digital storage devices, all the condoms and lubricants. You know, they must have walked in there and thought, is this some type of Diddy party? And even things like Viagra and a collection of themed costumes, including the world famous Bonnie Blue's schoolgirl outfit. Outside, they impounded a vehicle that has branded the Bonnie Blue Bang Bus. We know which ones they are. So it states here 18 people were detained at the scene, Bonnie Blue, and 17 male tourists. Most of them were Australian, so that one's on you. And they were between 19 and 40, so I don't think it was the schoolies that she's been promoting recently. Most of the men were questioned at the scene and later released, and now they're actual witnesses to it. This can't get any worse. Bonnie Blue, she wasn't released though. No, the police confirmed also that she entered Indonesia on a tourist visa. So now they're investigating whether or not that visa was misused for commercial adult content production, which again is strictly illegal under Indonesian law. Her passport was formally confiscated. She was transferred from the police custody into the control of Indonesian Immigration Authority, where she remains right now. And no, she cannot leave the country. Very fast, very swift, and very efficient. This is where the story can become serious though, because under Indonesian's anti-pornography law, producing or distributing graphic material is actually a criminal offence. It's not just a regulatory issue, it's a criminal one. So if prosecutors do choose to proceed fully, the maximum penalty available under that statute is up to 12 to 15 years in prison, plus massive financial fines. Now, legal analysts are saying that deportation is probably the most likely outcome, but here is the key point. That decision has not been made yet. Her devices are still being examined. The footage is still being reviewed. So prosecutors are still deciding whether or not this becomes a full criminal one. And right now, nothing is guaranteed. Earlier this year, we saw all of them reports of Bonnie Blue being searched beside a police van. At the time, it was framed online as an arrest, right? Later, we got reports to say that at least one of those incidences were staged for publicity. But that history matters because now it is real. The raid has been confirmed by the police, her detention has been confirmed by immigration, and her passport is physically seized. This is no storyline, it's no marketing, there's no exit button on this one, Bonnie. This is an active international legal case. And there's a wider issue that you might not be aware of that this case does connect to, because we are seeing more and more online content creators behaving overseas like they would at home, or like they never would dare at home, because they wrongly assume that these foreign countries are the scenery for their content. We've seen it with Johnny Somali. He's been harassing locals. He was disrupting businesses. He's been taunting authorities and getting detained again and again and again. And now he's facing a big prison sentence. The same as Vitaly, trespassing, public disturbances, pushing pranks into criminal territory. The same mindset shows up here with Bonnie Blue. Creators are treating other countries like sets and not sovereign states. Like the rules don't apply. Like consequences are only optional. The algorithm teaches them that shock wins, Disruption pays and outrage equals revenue. And this is what they need to understand, because the algorithm will never teach them. Different countries do have different laws, different cultures have different red lines, and not all of them will play these influencer games, especially when you go to those countries over near Thailand, Indonesia, who have had such bad publicity, and now they're getting popular. So Body Blue, she's in limbo, her passport's gone, she can't leave the country, and her future depends on prosecutors, and she can't influence that with any type of follow account. And on that note, please can you subscribe, drop a like, and drop a comment, because I respond to every single one. Do you think these influencer games that are being played worldwide, do you think the authorities now have had enough and say, do you know what, we're going to give them the maximum just to prove them a point? Thank you for getting this far. Hit the hype button, hit the like button, and I will see you next time.